Hello folks, welcome back to Once Driven Forever Smitten. Just loading up to go down the unit, taking the Corsa down because it needs a service and some work because MoT's due. Also taking the Saab down to do some work on that. Waiting for Kenzo to turn up because he's going to drive the Corsa, because we're also loading some work for the Astra interior in the back of the Saab to take it down there. And I'm also unboxing the exhaust for the Omega, which came from Poland. It's getting used as a shed again. And there's nothing much wrong with it, but aye! Yeah, I've got some tyres in there. I'll probably end up on the Corsa, or maybe like Cav. Yeah, let's get a look at this Polish exhaust. Took a while for it to come. Yeah, so there's one side of it, the system, and it comes with a 2-into-1 back box, and this is the other side. And it also came with a full set of rubbers as well as clamps. That was like 110 quid for the lot. And I even got a VAT receipt so I can get the VAT back on it. It came from Poland and it was by far cheaper than getting it anywhere in the UK, which is interesting post-Brexit. Same as the timing belt kit for that, which was an MSK kit. Came from like Latvia or something crazy. Anyway, I'm just going to chuck it in the back of the Omega now because I'm not quite ready to do it, but I mean, I don't know how long it's going to last, but it looks alright. Box of stuff here. I've got the torch that I found that fell off a lorry. Got some new ratchet pliers which I needed. Gravitex for the Corsa. An oil filter, liquid moly stop smoke, 540 fully synthetic deck sauce 2 for the Saab, spark plugs for the Saab, rocker gasket for the Saab, Durco grout, sealant for the Saab, oh, and a set of washer jets for the Corsa. Plenty of stuff. We just got to Kenzo's house that he doesn't live in. Parts storage. Hear that? Definitely some rubbery grinding going on the front end of the Saab. We'll need to find out what that is, but in the meantime I'm chucking some Astra seats in it. Kenzo's needing to get himself an old estate. And he's got a Caddy van, a 16 plate that's been parked up for about a year at least. Astra GSI stuff. These are what's gone in Kenzo's Astra project, which hasn't really been in the channel yet, but it will be. I've I've got various video clips doing stuff to it. It's nearly finished. They are nice. Look at that. Minted. That's quite interesting about these seats. They've got some options from the factory on it. Don't know if you can see it. It says rainbow there. Headrest and heater. Obviously it's not marked for heater because they don't have that, but yeah, a little bit of interesting information. They're marked with Recaro on them as well. On the frames. You can't see it now. See it on the other side and we can get them out. There we go. Practical Saab. It's not quite as big as the Omega inside, especially with that slanting tailgate, but still big enough. It's actually heavier than the Omega and in severe need of a wash, especially the windscreen. Absolutely covered in squashed bugs. Right, to the unit. Hey! What's he doing? Oh, he's burling. He's turning round. Wonder what his verdict on the Corsa is going to be to get it up in the ramps. Yeah, you can hear that strut top on this side. I know it's got a broken bolt in the subframe as well, so that all needs looked at. After I took this in the Cannonball's run, I did take it on a run down to England and took it down some fantastic roads in the North Pennines National Park. Which only served to make it a bit more creaky and clunky on the front end, but we can fix that. Look at that windscreen. It's so nice having the aircon working in this as well. But yeah, priority for the moment. Get some new plugs in it, get some oil into it, new gasket, bung on the top, get a sump, the sump sealed up. The sumps in these don't have a sump gasket, you just put sealant on it, but you need the right sealant. So I've got that expensive Durco stuff which is like high temperature. Take it Kenzo went out to the left, I've gone to the right. Nah. Let's go, just sitting at like 40 miles an hour, third gear. Whoosh! It does go well, like. Sorry Le Cave, you're getting kicked off the ramps again. Not a lot of people are asking about it. There is a whole video coming on this. I've got half the arch into it and I've started on the spring seat. I'm going to nick the steel wheels off it and put them in the Corsa because I've got new tyres for them. Although, you know, keep them for spares, they're old. Oh no, wait, that's well cracked. I think a couple of them are alright though. That's an Arrow Speed, which is pretty much brand new. I'll keep that, but I'm just going to kick it off. Put the Corsa on for now. Dearie me, the shiny red didn't last very long to polish it again. Probably should get this in and put the long ratio gearbox in it as well. Oh, there's a kitty. This is Kenzo's pal. Hello. It's been coming down the garage. Don't know if it belongs to anybody. If it doesn't, we'll adopt it and give it a kitty home in the garage. Hello, pal. Your cat's here. Hello. Hello. No, not impressed. Are you a boy or a girl? You look quite big, so you might be a boy. Not having anything to do with us anyway. And I don't have the keys for the Saab. I need this can of juice and my battery gun. Good booster pack that. Right, move this on out. Looks alright, the GSI wheels on it. Probably won't stay on it. Makes it look more like fab though. We'll just shove it out the way now. Ah, sounds good, man. It's also covered in overspray. You probably can't see that, but trust me, it is. Running sweet as. So much to do in here. What's in here, actually? Oh yeah, like a dozen cans of black spray paint. Nice. Now what I needed to look out was hiding across many different cars. Undercoating gun, I need that. I need some masking tape for the Corsa. More masking tape. Satin red for the Diplomat. What's this? Lacquer. What's this? Primer, sandpaper. That's for the Omega. Loads of stuff in here that I forget that's actually in here. Need to look in the boot as well because it's got Corsa stuff in it. Right, this is suspension of what was donated to me of a low mileage Corsa Sport. So these are gas. Springs are rusty though. They would need a paint really, I suppose. I don't know if they'd be any good or not. I suppose I could just fire them on. Found a set of drop links for the Saab, which is alright as well. A lot of stuff hiding in here. Set of rear discs for this one sitting in there as well. What I forgot about. Right. Flip the wheels off the Corsa. Good grief. This thing's so solid, need to keep it that way. The Corsa is well solid in all the right places, but a little bit of surface rust coming through here and there. So what I want to do is clean it up, and we'll hit it with some Lanoguard and Gravitex. A bit of surface rust coming through there with a plate that's been welded in there, but that's all solid. And all along the front here, we're just going to give this a clean up with a cut brush. Rust treat it and hit it. Same with this front chassis rail here. It's gone a little bit soft, and I might put a plate on that actually. But I mean, the floor is pretty immaculate. I've knocked a whole load of dirt out from in here because obviously they're bad for rotting out in there. I'll get the rest of the dirt out here, get it all cleaned out, take the back shockers off because we're replacing them, and we'll rust proof all this stuff in here. You can actually Lanoguard your axle and all sorts of bits as well, as far as I'm aware. Load sensing valve there. New exhaust I put on it at the start of the year. Do the brake pipes and things with it, and the ferrules and the brake hoses. But yeah, this thing is so solid for an M-Red Corsa. But first, I'm going to drop the oil out it. Pretty well looked after, hasn't had a hard life. But I've not changed oil on it since I got it. So we shall sort that out right now. And I might pull the engine out anyway, I don't know. I can maybe just change the gearbox on it. But I do have that 1600 sitting over there in a pile. But not a priority right now. Oh yeah, see bits like along this cross member at the front, that needs cleaned up as well, because it is solid, it's just got surface rust on it. And that's all. Yeah, that'll move you. Yeah, what I think we'll do is we'll grind this outer grotty bit off and we'll just put a plate bent round underneath it. Because, I mean, we could cover that up with underseal or something, but, you know, that's not what we want to be doing. Well, I've got a grinding disc. Alright, so I've cleaned this up, got nice shiny metal all the way here. I went up a bit further because there was still like dirt and rust kind of getting underneath it. Now obviously I don't want to put a plate right directly on top of that and leave it bare metal to metal. So I'm going to cut a plate to shape, weld it in part of the way and then spray paint up in there, and then as it bends down, or in fact I might do two plates actually, I will spray up into there with some paint, and then as I bend it around before I finish I'll do that as well, so we can get some protection in there as well. Right, so that's all cleaned up in there, and I've stuck some etch primer in there to cover it, and I'm going to cover the back of this as well. Then I'm going to clamp it in place and partially weld round it. Once I've ground off the bits I need to weld at with a cut brush, and then once I've kind of gone part way around, I'm going to scoosh some wax oil up into there as well. See if that'll like protect it so it's not just bare metal sitting under there, because it'll rust through again. There we go, that's all welded in place now. We've got a bit underneath, it's going to protect it behind it as well, so I'm going to grind the welds down, make it a bit neater, and yeah, rust proof it. There we go, not too bad. Bit of preventative welding really before it goes through the metal that's underneath that outer skin. So we'll just hit it with a dose of etch primer before applying some other stuff to it. Oh, stuff's strong. Right, I'm going to clean up another couple of bits on it as well. Right, what I think is, to rust proof it with the Lanoguard and stuff, I would like to go and maybe jet wash some of it first and get it up in the air. And kind of devote a bit of time to that. I've cleaned up the jacking points for the moment and just etch primered them. Cleaned up this bit at the front here. There's a little bit softness there which I might go back to, but what I've noticed is at the back here we've got surface rust and it hasn't gone through. It's another double skin section, but I can't get to this in the two-poster ramp. I'll have to drop it down and clean it with a brush in the ground to get into that, to really get it nice and clean. Yeah, I might do a little bit of Lanoguarding, but I think now I'm just going to go and swap the shocks out it, and that'll do it for tonight. I am not going to put this front suspension on it because it requires me to go and break it all down. And I would like to go and clean the springs up on the front anyway. Yeah, they'll be gas shocks, so they'll be a bit different, but I don't want to do that right now. It's a product I bought ages ago, which is actually for the Omega. Well, originally I bought it for that Lanoguard. You get 2 bottles of this spray, you just spray it on with this trigger thing, and there's also this extended one, which I guess goes in the top of the bottle, and then you've got to get into difficult areas with that. And there's also a bit that goes on the end of that to get it down into sill sections and things, but for the moment it just goes in this bottle. So, and you can spray it on everything, and it says that doesn't need to be like spotlessly clean or anything, so we'll spray some bits with it now. Let's see what this stuff's like. You know, it's like cola. Yeah, drop in there one out, and then what we'll do is, oh, what is he doing? Well, that's going to do something. Okay, so that's our Lanoguard coming out now, and you can spray this onto like everything basically. You can do your struts with it and all that. It's not very spray at the moment though. Right, that's it. It's now coming out in a nice spray. Yeah, it just gives it like a clear coating. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to do some more of it. Right, so I'm just going down this side of the car with this stuff. It's not like underseal, it goes on. It's an easy, and of course you can get up into the box sections in the Corsa easy enough with it. Some extra protection in there. Yeah, I'm just going along the floor sections at the moment. Soaked everything down on the main part of the car now, and you can see the difference. Look, it's all kind of dark and shiny down here compared to the side I have not done yet, which is all dry. So it's not like putting sticky horrible underseal on, which I don't do anyway. I don't like underseal. It's kind of dripping off the car a bit now. Looks like it's really handy for coating your brake pipes nice and everything. I don't like covering up pipes with black stuff. It's like, what have you got to hide? And obviously this has got a nice floor on it anyway. Neato. See bits like this, your brake pipes in the rear sections of the floor. Yeah, I like it for that, and get it right up into these box sections, and we can go along the brake pipes up here. I'm going to do the fuel tank as well, although ideally you would maybe want to drop it down. I'll have to put some more in the sprayer bottle. And again, I should be able to go and get up a few jets of it up in the top of the tank anyway. I won't soak the exhaust in it. Nice. Back on, I've got more in the sprayer bottle now. There you go. I'll go quite a long way. All this stuff. Get it up around the top of the tank there. Now, do the next bit. Right, spare wheel well, which is in good condition on the Corsa. Why am I losing spray power here? Oh, that stuff's really interesting. That's just taken about 10-15 minutes to coat it all. And you can see everything's kind of wet now. But the thing is with the Corsa, it's already solid. And I want to keep it that way, and with the way that the grit rots things in the winter, I'm definitely going to be trying this in the rest of the cars, so dare say it's going to drip and make a bit of a mess for a bit. I haven't got into these yet because I would like to get the rear arches jet washed out because they are full of dirt, but you can see that I've not quite done that bit of the axle there, but you can see the bits that I have done. It's going to make everything wet, and hopefully that kind of sticks to it without being horrible, tacky, greasy underseal stuff, because it all looks original. Interesting. See how this goes. I'm going to put some of the I need to go and put something extra on there on top of that primer. Probably add a bit of paint on there, and then I will put some of the grease on top, which is for like heavy duty stuff. Interesting. Right, so I am just disconnecting the rear shockers. Is this one going to come off? Oh, look at that, nearly all the way off, and the nut's still turning the whole thing. Let's see if I can grab it for the other side. Right, shocker on one side. I've also given it a quick hit with the Lanoguard in there because I cleaned it out. In fact, I need to do it a bit better. I'm interested to see how this stuff does. I'm going to use the wax in other areas where it says, you know, like high. Alrighty, well, it's now the following day, Thursday. Hottest day of the year. Finally feels quite summer-like. Well, it's end of May, you know. Could still snow yet, but it's about 20 odd degrees. Hooray! My head tanned. I'm going to take the Saab down the workshop and do some stuff on that. Probably do that as a separate video. Mainly going to concentrate on the Corsa, get the rust proofing finished, get the back shocks on it, swap the wheels over, get it out for MoT tomorrow, and that'll cover that off. Yeah, this is lovely. Definitely needing a wash. Don't think my neighbour's car's very well. That doesn't even sit there for that long. Right. To the workshop. Right. What are we sitting on here? 23 degrees. Way! Oh no, fuel light on again. That BP fuel didn't last very long. Think how much I put in. Should have put 40 quid in. I only went to Edinburgh, down to the unit, then out to Blantyre and back, and the light's on again. Unless the light was on for ages the last time, I don't know. Right, so back down the garage. Let's just have a little look, see how that stuff's dried in. Ah, that's pretty impressive. Probably go over and give it another coating of the old Lanoguard. Interesting. No, it puts quite a nice, just a thin wax finish on the stuff. Interesting. Oh yeah, I've got that shocker to do. Right, that's on the agenda first, and then we will take the cut brush along the front of this cross member, clean it up, paint it. Yeah, and we'll get some paint on the welded section there and these front jacking points. Let's give it another go over with a bit more Lanoguard. I got some red paint to go and cover up the hooks we primered last night. Put some more of this Lanoguard stuff in. It's really runny, and it seems to go like it would go a long way. You see that, it's like oily stuff. There's enough there in the kit, I would say, to do at least a couple of cars, probably 3. It's got a kind of sludginess in it, so I need to give it a good. All the bits like, you know, your brake pipes and things and springs and all that should be really good for all of that. It should, by the look of it, it should prevent all this stuff from corroding, because assuming it doesn't get washed off too easy, but seems pretty sticky. I'll get more of it in there. We'll just coat all our struts and everything in it, and brake lines. All these bits in here which are prone to rusting. Yep. Right, we have soaked everything that's exposed in Lanoguard for the moment. We've got it right down the floors, we've got it on the axle, got it up round on the brake pipes and around here. Need to get that bit sanded down, but I can't do it because the ramp's in the way. I'll have to take the car off, but it's still solid in there, it's just surface rust. And you see how solid this is. I want to keep it that way because these things are bad for rot. All these areas in here, little area there with a bit of surface rust I need to clean up. I've like hit it all the way around and in all these areas here. And there is a wax as well, which I'll get onto in a minute, which is for like areas which would suffer, you know, high levels of, get hit with a lot of salt, so we'll give that a go in a bit. I've done the shocker on this side. As you see, you get these useful little access panels in here to get to them. So I'm just doing the back ones just now. I'm not completely convinced about putting those front ones on yet. Are you going to slacken at all? No, you're not. To get them all grips on there. Yeah, this is not these shockers. The nut is tight right to the top past the threads, so the mole grips need to come out the way, but the nut and the shock absorber shaft will continue to turn. Hopefully if it's the same as on the other side, I'll just get the battery ratchet on it. Yeah, the whole thing's still turning. Maybe the battery ratchet. Just fired the temporary wheels in the car. We're getting some alloys on it tomorrow. No play in that bearing. Wait to see the other side. This one here. Oh, ho, ho. You can hear that. Right. Put the bearing cap off, we'll tighten that up, put a bit more grease in it so we can get it in. Oh, I'll notice the difference when that's tightened up. Remove the bearing cap. See what kind of split pin we've got. Aha. Folded over on the end. That's them out. Actually, this looks. Ah, well, might as well just take it out and have a look. Why not? Yeah, here's a little bearing out the end, and that just comes out of there. And see there, we could get some grease into there. I'm going to pack the bearing out with it before we put it back in, keep it in good order. So this bearing isn't making a noise or anything like that, we'll just cover them in grease and poke them on in there. Oh, interesting, that's off to the side there. There we go. Ah, there's plenty more grease in there now. There's okay. 24mm spanner and tighten it up. Just to the point where we have no planet anymore. Nice, go and find a new split pin. New split pin installed. That's the last of the ones of that size that I've got. I've got a huge box of assorted ones, and of course the vast majority of them are far too big for anything on a Vauxhall, so you end up with a mixed set that most of them aren't even used on. Right, pop a little bit of grease inside the cap, fire them back on. While I'm giving the paint a little extra bit of time to dry, just taking the oil filter out, which is very tight. Can't do it one-handed, so I shall have to put you down. That filter was really tight. I will not put it on quite as tight. Well, the new one anyway. And make that is, not got a clue. Right, new filter installing. One of the ones I had in stock. Right, we'll just give it a little nip. No, it says hand tighten, but I'll always just give them a quarter turn extra. Right, we 1400 runs like a sewing machine, so we'll just leave it for now. And we'll get it rolling roaded, and we shall see what it makes. I might go and get a bigger exhaust for the 1600, but we'll leave this for now. Right, oil, 1540. And I've also got some Slick 50 for it. Now, there's more in that Slick 50 bottle than you need for a 1400, so I'll leave a bit in it. Right, let's add some oil, let's put some Slick 50 in it, because this is good stuff. This will help it. Good grief, there we go. Now what have we got left in there? 250, perfect. Leave that, something else can get a bit extra in it. And just normal, nice thick 1540 goes in these. Right, let's fire them up. What a nice quiet engine. Oh, I've got a bit extra on that throttle cable. It's a bit slack. See that? Can tweak that up. Oh, no way! It's nearly full of petrol, what a bonus! In addition to the MoT spray runny stuff that you get with the Lanoguard. There's also this, which is a MoT grease, which you apply to areas where it's most likely to corrode. We'll see what this stuff's like. It's pretty thick. Might need to give it a stir. So this waxy stuff is proper thick. What we're going to do is get some of it on this brush and then apply it to these areas at the front, which are the ones that get scalped with, you know, salt and everything and rot out the most. So we'll give all this a waxy coating and that'll seal it in, and you know, we'll just have to see how it goes, report back on it at the end of the year in winter and see what it's looking like. Right, been able to readjust the ramp so I can get to this surface rusty bit at the back of the sill and attack it with a brush grinder. So I'm going to do that now, clean that up and then put some rust treatment on it, primer it, ultimately paint it, and then waxy Lanoguard stuff it, see how we get on. Right, you can see here, managed to clean all this up. I used a brush on a drill as well. Obviously it's still brown and rusty, so I've got some Q-Rust I'm going to apply, which is rust converter. Put you down there now. Yeah, it's rust converter. It's going to fit in here. My brush too big? No, we can get it on the brush. Yeah, and what this does, it will munch that surface rust before we go and coat it with primer. Put that on there, and I'll do the other side now. See here as well, I've managed to get it right up to the line, taking the old under seal off that's just, yeah, no, basically just holding water under it now. So this is good for being preventative. It's nice to be able to do that rather than weld bits up. Once you start going in bits like this, it's a real pain. I'll just leave this to soak in. I'm going to do the front cross member next. So as we can see here, our front cross member just has some surface rust on it. So we'll give this a buff down, hit it with a rust treatment, just the same. Look at how well that's cleaned up with just, quite going over, just purely surface rust on it. So let's get some rust treater on it, just to make sure. Again. I reckon, you know, this is solid now, but you know, a couple of Scottish winters without being treated, you end up with holes and things. So for the time it takes, well worth the effort. There we go, our rust is all turned black. Let's now hit it with some etch primer up in here. Move to the other side and do the same thing. We'll just give this a good coating. So this GoPro keeps cutting off. Yeah, there's a good coating in there anyway, sorted in that part, so we'll let that dry off for a bit and then paint it. Same with our front panel here. Right, we're on the old GoPro because this one won't behave. 39% battery in it, which goes down really, really quickly, I might add. So this will only run for a few seconds and it'll probably cut off due to some battery issue. There we go. Battery low. I've ordered new batteries for it. Junk. Do not buy one. Not recommended. I won't have to buy another one. I want something else, like a drone or something like that. I'm spending 400 quid on another camera. Anyway, GoPro 7 instead. I'm not masking it off, I don't care. I'm just going to paint a lot of it. Nice! Get some paint on that just shortly. Yeah, so in here, just going to hit it with a bit of black on top of the primer. Because obviously we're going to Lanoguard this. And here as well. Again up the front here. Right, I've just been right down the sills on the underside and coated it with this MoT grease with the Lanoguards from Lanoguard. So all the way along the underside of here, along the bottom of the sill, I've just given it a thin coating of that wax to be a bit extra preventative. I would probably also put it in up in the back corners and things. There's a couple of bits I need to clean out on it. And I would put it at these bits up the back when it's dark enough when you get the torch. I would do that because they're areas that get particularly hard hit. But yeah, it's time to drop it down now and get it out. Actually, no, I had forgotten. The washer jets on this, I wonder if I can get these pinged off without scratching the paint. Probably not. How do they come out? Bing! These are the bane of my life, these things. Okay. Looks like that's like heat shrunk on it. Yes, I did. Oh, look at that. Wahey! Okay. Because I have here 2 new washer jets. So this thing is just the amount of times that I have tried to clean the washer jets out. That's good, that just shoves right in there. In you go. Come on, know you want to. You know you want to. Cut. Fixed the issue. World's worst washer jets. Oh, look at that. Double squirters both sides. Wahey! Long may it continue. Just dip the oil there. It's that clear you probably won't be able to see it, but we are just a tiny bit shy of the top mark. Well judged by me. Wahey! Right. Corsa out. Sab in. Corsa is off the ramp, Saab is on the ramp. We've got the sump to seal up because it's leaking quite a bit of oil. We've got a few jobs to do. It's got a snapped off subframe bolt. Don't know if I'll do that now. It's got a lot of creaking off it, but what I noticed was this drop link, all the rubber's perished off it, so that could well be what the creaking is. I've got a new set for it in stock, which, yeah, same with that one, all the rubber's perished off it. And the top one, yeah, so we'll be replacing both of them. And be Lanoguarding it. Which will work well on it because it is pretty solid. Probably going to go and hit these sections here. Don't look at the exhaust. With a cut brush on the grinder. I say that this is all new suspension that's on it, and look at how that's started to rust already. It's horrendous, that. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, it is a solid car, but one issue we've got a broken bolt in there. That's going to be fun and games to get that out. Might have to cut the floor open to get to that, but either way, I mean, it's a subframe drop. So I've got a set of bushes there for it as well. I don't know, but that's for another video. That's for another time. That's what I'm on with next. We've got the oil, spark plugs, gaskets there for it anyway. Right, I'm going to bring the cab in to sit underneath it. Corsa is ready to go for MoT. Cavalier in, Saab in, get to at least some of that on the next video. And then once that's out the road, I'll get back on with this. And that thing sitting there. Still got some nice seats for the Diplomat out it. Right. Just at the petrol station grabbing some munchies on my way home. And yeah, I'm glad to say it's dropped a bit at the front. I no longer have a fistable arch gap. Oh dear, the paint's looking a bit sad. Does look like a roller skate. Handling's fun. Interesting to see what it's done to the gearing, but yeah, definitely needs a polish. Don't know if we'll have time tomorrow before the MoT. Stupid taxi just went 50 through a 30 and he's now doing 50 and a 60. Keeping his full beams on. Alright, it's now Friday afternoon. We've got the Astra LS wheels there. Need to dig the tyres out the Omega, and we're going to have to pack them all on the Corsa because it's going for its MoT. But we're also going to put those Toyo tyres on those wheels as well. Don't know if I'm going to keep them on the Corsa, but we'll use this opportunity to get them on the wheels because they're not much use just sitting in the back of the Omega. This is going to be fun. There's not going to be much space for me in here, but we'll give it a go. Right, empty auto smart bottle. Come in handy, that. Right, so this goes forward and these pull down. You know, I think it might be alright. It's kind of like a mini estate, the 5-door. What we'll do is we will take the parcel shelf out. We will take the parcel shelf out for the time being. And you cannot knock a Corsa 5 though, for practicality. That's basically, I mean, you would fit 2 sets of wheels and tyres in here, no problem. Oh, look at them, T1Rs, nice. I was going to give it a wash and another polish, don't have time, do it another day. Right, let's better get in the road. Wee Corsa drives absolutely mint. I reckon this will be so good in the motorway with that longer gearbox in it. There's barely any wind noise round the A-pillars or anything. And there's a lot less road noise since I took the winter tyres off as well. It's running absolutely great. Proven Mill Motors. Astra wheels. Getting fitted up with the Toyos. Fancy looking van. It's definitely needing a polish again. I look better with the tyres in the back of it. To do it with the suspension on it, may just leave it standard on the back, lower it a bit at the front. In fact, it must be sitting on an angle because it's not as high on that side. Pretty good. Not looking forward. Did that come up with an imbalance of 0 in the front there?
Bounced up to 17 and at 0, so it's
Yeah, all green. I was thinking about doing it the other night.
I seen you say that on Instagram.
But I was like, oh. New tyres going on the ramp. Not that there was anything wrong with the ones that were on it. Hey! Now, don't know where the little bolts are for these centre caps. We've got these which are caliper bolts. And they fit perfectly. I do not know where the little 3-pin security bolts are for these, but I say these caliper bolts are just perfect. The Corsa was going a bit faded, as you've probably seen, so I just hit it with some Auto Smart detailer there down the side. It's brought the red back not bad at all, considering I've not even washed it. That's quite impressive really. Do the tailgate. Because that was definitely reverting to its original pink. Well, not its original pink. That's not bad, considering it does need like a proper polish, but brought it back a wee bit more, see what it's like when it's outside. So that's it MoT'd. I'm going to get it home and give it a wash and a polish. Did come up not bad with that detailing spray. Looks better with those wheels on it as well. I think I will drop it at the front but not at the back, because you can see as soon as I put a load in it, it's sitting about level there. So most of the time it will have something in the back of it. So remember that? It's a recovery truck, the flying machine that picked up the Diplomat. It's scorching again, and I'm just home with the Corsa, and I'm now going to give it a wash. Ah, kind of looks shiny again because it's wet, but that won't last, so yeah. Let's get some more polish on it, tidy it up. It's a shame about this door that got bent in or bent out and somebody tried to steal it, because it's got a kink in it there and it kind of pushes out after a while. I just put my knee on it again to push it in there, but the wind kind of gets up and gradually shoves it back out again. Could do a door, but I would prefer a red one, to be honest. I don't know about to paint a door, because well, that door's all scraped as well. We have here some chrome tip-top carnauba wax polish. Not a good shake. This is good stuff, so should help revive the colour again. We shall see what it's like at the end. Oh wow, load of red came out of that. Well, that's a chrome carnauba wax on. See how it comes off, see what we've got underneath. That's not bad. You can see a couple of faded areas where I machine polished it before and obviously missed it, like right round the, it's got like a halo around the indicator. Huh. We'll get that at a later date. Let's see how we get on. Seems to be coming up nice bright red again. Just what we want. Decided to give it an extra going over with the old, like, traditional carnauba wax. I don't know, maybe the chrome stuff would be better on something with nicer paint. I feel this has taken a lot more oxidation off it. So we'll see how we get on with this now. Now I do need to try and get another front bumper for this, because this one's not right. I do have a replacement, but the grill's like separate, so I'll need to get a grill off a breaker. But anyway, I'm just giving the black plastics a try out with some of this chrome pink, which I usually use in the interior, but seems to be blackening this bumper up quite nicely. Obviously it doesn't last, but yeah, look at that. That's not bad, all things considered. Yeah, I would like to get another front bumper, just a plain grey one would do to match the back. I do have the other colour coded one for the rear, but I need a towing eye cover for that because the cover's missing off it. That's not too bad. Need to polish the bumper as well, actually, I forgot to do that. And I suppose in the meantime we might as well polish said red bit on the bumper. Let's see if we can get some colour back into it. There you go, you can't dispute the practicality of a 5-door Corsa. Lawnmower and a big bucket in the boot. Seats don't even need to get folded down. Well, hey! Right folks, that's all for this one on the Corsa. Quite pleased with the progress I've made on it. It's a great little runabout, economical, super cheap to run, fun to drive. Got some more stuff to do on it as well. I'd like to get it rolling roaded with the 1400 in it before I put the 1600 and the different gearbox in. But I'm not in a rush to do that because it runs brilliant with the 14 in it. It's a right little buzz bomb. Yeah, it's all looking all shiny and everything. So yeah, I shall catch you on the next one. Cheers, bye bye. Kitty's in the long grass. What he's up to? Hello. Yep. Running about.